अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम, अम्मा बाद, फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम, बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। When we talk about paradigm, what has always really inspired me is when I read about life of so many Sahaba, so many Islamic personalities. They were deadly against Islam when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam were going out and telling them about Tawheed, about oneness of Allah. And suddenly something happened, just a small flick or a click, and everything changed. Think about the life of Hazrat Umar radhiyallahu anhu. What happened to him? He was basically going out to kill the Prophet. And he just heard his sister recite verses from Quran. Somehow it had such impact on him that immediately he went over there, he accepted Islam. And not only he accepted Islam, he told the rest of the companions, let's go and pray in Haram. When they were all praying in their homes by that time. Read about Tufail Dosi. He was the leader, the chief of his tribe. And he kept hearing from people that there is a person in Makkah who's claiming to be the Prophet. Out of curiosity and inquisitiveness, he said, let me go to Makkah and let me just check him out. While he was going towards Makkah, everyone started warning him, don't listen to him. He has a magical way of transforming people. He actually took something and plugged his ears. He said, I'm not going to listen to him. And one day he was just sitting and he talked to himself and said, give me a break. I am the chief of a tribe. I deal with so many situations every day. And I listen to so many people. Don't I have a mind of my own? Let me just listen to what he is talking about. So he unplugged himself and he found out Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sitting with Quran reciting something. And it had such impact on him. Again, a life-changing, transforming experience. So this brings us to one conclusion. There is difference between being effective and being efficient. Efficient could be, look busy, do nothing. Your productivity is zero. Being effective means, even if people think you are not actually doing something, but you are productive, you are result-oriented. Paradigm shift basically doesn't make you efficient. It makes you effective. You are having a meeting, you are working on a project, it is a pilot project, it is a study, it is a research, whatever it is, if it is not result oriented, it is nothing. Based on that, we see different types of people. There are people who make things happen, the doers. There are people who are cautious, wait for things to happen. There are people who are just spectators. They watch others. Ki ho raha hai. There are people who are totally aloof. Let things happen. Meri bala se. We should analyze, where do I stand? Maybe you are a doer in most of the things you do, but there is a certain situation which pulls you down so badly, you become aloof, you become a spectator. And then we find out Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspires us through the personality of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by saying, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. He had the best of character, who helped people change that paradigm. He made it into the most productive society. What was his characteristic? Jabke we also deal with human resource. We deal with students. And we are always frustrated at the end of the day that apart from a couple of students, we often end up saying, aaj ke student non-serious hai. They are not interested in studies. And when we step into the classroom environment, we dread going there. One was his strong value system, which would not change with changing times or situations. He was Sadiq and Ameen in every situation. Similarly, he had a positive attitude towards life. So he was Sadiq and Ameen. That means he had character and he had competence. Because Sadiq means you're truthful. Sadiq means you have integrity, you have the right intention. You're truthful inside, you're truthful outside. You're not trying to manipulate people for your own good. तैयारी नहीं की भी वैसे क्लास में जाके पढ़ा दूँ, अपना प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट नहीं किया, लोगों को इंप्रेशन दूँ कि पता नहीं मैंने कितनी तैयारी की है. And competent, he had the ability and his ability was result oriented. How is it possible that you are capable, you are honest, and you are still not productive? This is not possible. This is going against the law. So we need to first determine, I want to be man of success or man of value. So let's do a small activity. I want you to write down 7 to 10 values that are important for you. Now the next step, pick 3 best values from them. Now ask yourself why these values or this particular value is important for me. कभी आपके साथ ऐसे हुआ हो कि if this value or feeling and it was not honored, how did you feel or think or act at that time? We don't feel good about it. ऐसे ही है ना? This is the starting point when we are talking about paradigm. Values, they will give you identity. They will help you make the decision. If your value is to be honest, it is not possible. A situation comes up to you where you can lie and easily escape, and you would be like, मैं क्या करूँ? You are very clear in your head. I am going to be honest. I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. And you lead through example. This is what our students miss in us. This is what they complain about. Role modeling. टीचर कहता कुछ है, करता कुछ है. डॉक्टर्स जैसे हैं, हेल्थ के बारे में इतनी बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हैं और स्मोकिंग कर रहे हैं. एंड यस, वैल्यूज help you refrain from any pigmented behavior. Positive attitude. 3 positive things about yourself. 3 positive things about your good friend. 3 positive things about any role model in your life who are existing. Like could be your parents, siblings, family, teacher, mentor, or anyone in the community. Can you identify anything which is common to all? That's the point. Okay, when we live with negative people, we start picking their traits. When we have negative role models, we end up being negative. जब आपके पॉजिटिव लोग इर्द गिर्द होंगे या आपके अंदर भी पॉजिटिविटी होगी, you will generate that positivity around. आप सबसे पहले कुरान पढ़ें, which gives you a positive outlook. लेकिन न्यूज़पेपर लोग खोलते हैं तो क्या है? It's all about negativity. We start our day with something negative. अच्छा, एक तो ओवरऑल सोसाइटी में नेगेटिविटी, then we always pick negatives of people. So based on that, we are different type of people. We can be energy givers, we can be energy takers, or we can be energy wasters. So this brings us to paradigm. What is a paradigm? How would you define a paradigm? Basically, this is your window, how you see things. If it is raining, अगर आपके अंदर का मौसम खराब है तो क्या होगा? You will see the whole world is crying with me. And if you are happy inside and it's raining, तो फिर क्या याद आएगा? पकौड़े, coffee, long drive. Paradigm जो होता है ना, it consists of values and beliefs. The people who don't believe in hijab, उनको हमेशा लगता है कि हिजाब वाले मजलूम हैं, उनको गर्मी लग रही है, वो बेचारे सर्वाइव कैसे कर रहे हैं, उनको सांस कैसे आ रहा है, उनको vitamins की पता नहीं कितनी deficiencies हैं. And the people who are wearing hijab, they are normal, totally comfortable. There are 3 basic elements in the paradigm: feel, think, and behave. Try to understand it from the perspective of your students. Many a time, what we are focusing on, behavior. And a lot of time, this is an exhaustive activity. Why? जब आप behavior पे कर रहे हैं, their feeling and thinking process is not aligned. They hate a certain thing, they don't want to do certain thing, and you are telling them to do this. Typical example in a home environment. A parent want their kid to pray. डांट लिया, मार लिया, प्यार कर लिया, कहाँ वर्क हो रहा है? Behavior पे. If you connect him to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, वो खुद झुकेगा. हमारा क्या हाल है? हम behavior पे work कर रहे हैं, हम feeling और thinking पे नहीं work कर रहे हैं. You need to work on the value system of your students and the beliefs of your students. If you work on that, you will see the change in behavior automatically. Beliefs कैसे shape होते हैं? Many of you might have heard this very famous experiment which was done on monkeys. A group of scientists, what they did was they took 5 monkeys, put it in the cage, and in the middle they put a ladder with the bananas on the top. Every time a monkey went up the ladder, the scientists soaked the rest of the monkeys with cold water. So after a while, every time a monkey went up the ladder, the other beat up the one on the ladder. After some time, no monkey dared to go up the ladder regardless of the temptation. Scientists then decided to substitute one of the monkeys. The first thing this new monkey did was to go up the ladder. and immediately the other monkeys started beating him. After several beatings, the new member learned not to climb the ladder even though never knew why. The second monkey was substituted and the same occurred. The first monkey participated on the beating for the second monkey, and third monkey was chained and the same was repeated, beating. The fourth monkey was substituted and the beating was repeated, and finally the fifth monkey was replaced. What was left was a group of 5 monkeys that, even though never received a cold shower, continued to beat up any monkey who attempted to climb the ladder. If it was possible to ask the monkeys why they would beat up all those who attempted to go up the ladder, I bet the answer would be, I don't know, that's how things are done around here. हमारा ये हाल है, हमारे सिस्टम में somebody new comes up, highly motivated to do something, people make fun of them, give them negativity, give them a distorted view of the values. Oh, idhar kuch nahi hona. Ultimately, we come up with new people, new entries, very enthusiastic people, but doing nothing. This is how the perception or the belief system is formed. रिश्वत के बगैर गुजारा ही नहीं है, सिफारिश के बगैर काम नहीं होता. And we never try to improve our potentials, thinking if I'm competent, somebody will always hire me.